Woburn. I'm your host, Samantha Stone, and it is election eve. By the time you're watching this, it will be election day. So, of course, I hope all of you will be getting out and voting if you didn't use any of the early voting options available to you. We have so many local positions that are up and lots of amazing people who have volunteered and put their hat in the ring to run for these positions. So lots of choices for us. We hope the election series of interviews that we've done, the forums that WPMC hosted, CPAC hosted a great school committee forum. We hope all of those pieces of information are really helpful to you in making informed decisions. But we hope you get out there. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow on Tuesday, November 7th. And if you don't know your polling locations, definitely go to the website. There's an elections page which tells you all about it. And if you're still confused, call the city clerk's office. They're definitely super helpful, and glad to point you in the right direction. We also, this year, I'm very excited, WPMC is hosting live election results coverage that'll start at 8 o'clock. When the final tallies will come in, it's usually a little bit of time after that, but I'm very excited that we'll be broadcasting from City Hall. So if you're not going to come down and check out the live results, I know most people don't do that. You'll be able to log into the live stream or watch on the government channel on your televisions. So super pleased that we're able to do that. A couple other quick city things I want to let you know about that are happening across the city. We do have our annual Veterans Day parade coming up on Saturday, and there's a host of other activities. In fact, I actually was a little bit surprised. There's more activities happening than I realized. I always think about the parade, and I didn't really realize about some of the other amazing things that are happening. So a tremendous way to honor veterans in our local community. Hope that you can participate in some of those things. They're on the city website, and the Veterans Services Office has done a great job of mapping those things out. So hope you can take part in some of those things. And then just a quick mention, and we'll talk more about this as we get closer. The Saturday after Thanksgiving is the Festival on the Common, and there's all kinds of awesome, fun things that happen. If you've never been to before, if you're new to the community, there is a tree lighting, which is always fun. And there's lots of different groups who sing holiday songs and carols. And there's ice sculptures, and there's people selling all kinds of not good for you food, but that is super tasty, like fried Oreos, and hay rides and all kinds of fun stuff. So we'll talk more about that, but definitely keep that in the back of your mind when you're planning for that day. And it's even fun if the weather's not great. There's often an art show that's inside, and we're hardy people. We watch the parade in the rain. We can go out and do tree lighting and the festivities, even if it ends up not being super nice out. We'll just dress in layers. So with those quick updates, I want to bring Nichol on board. Nichol, welcome.
Hi, Samantha. Thank you for having me on the show.
I'm really glad to have you on the show. We're here to talk with you with SCI, so thank you for joining us. We are going to talk about leaf raking. So it's that time of year when our yards are a mess. All the trees are they're getting ready for winter, and all the leaves come down. And SCI has a really great program to help relief for seniors who are not able to take care of their yards themselves, collects volunteers to help do that cleanup. Tell us about this year's one of those dates and how many homes we're hoping to serve.
Yes. So Social Capital Inc. has their annual leaf raking event coming up. It is in partnership with the Woburn Senior Center and the Woburn Council on Aging. Our first day is coming up this Friday, November 10th. And so that is a great way to kick off Veterans Day weekend by just serving and giving back to your community. And then the second day we have is on Saturday, November 25th. And that's just a great way to make memories and meet your neighbors the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So
you can go work out, raking leaves, and then go eat fried Oreos and hot chocolate and all kinds of other yummy things at the Festival on the Common in the evening.
Exactly.
Right?
It could be a great fun day to make memories with the family, friends, and your neighbors, or maybe a great opportunity to meet new neighbors and make new friends.
How many homes are we hoping to serve on those 2 volunteer days?
Yes, so we actually have 22 homes signed up. So the last day for signing up as a senior for our leaf raking event was last Friday, November 3rd. So the signups have passed. However, if you are in need of yard cleanup in the future, SCI does have an annual snow shoveling event, so please be on the lookout for that as well. And with our 22 homes signed up, we're going to need about 5 to 10 volunteers assigned to each home.
So we're looking for a lot of volunteers. I know there's folks who do it every year, but definitely if you're on the fence thinking they don't need you, they do. Where should volunteers sign up?
Yes, to sign up for our annual leaf raking event, you can go to our website at socialcapitalinc.org. On our homepage is a link to the leaf raking event information. And so on there is a Google form that you can add your information onto.
Now, I think we got a very generous donation of leaf bags. Who can we thank for that?
Yes, so we actually got 2 very generous donations this year. We have our consecutive donor. They are Ace Hardware here in Woburn. Tony Ennison is the store manager's name, and he enjoys cultivating community connections through his donations. So this year he donated 100 leaf bags. So SCI is very grateful for that generous donation. And then this year we also have a new donor. Lowe's here in Woburn actually donated 100 leaf bags and 12 rakes. And so I was in communication with Jack Pierce, and we're very thankful for him and Lowe's to make this collaboration happen.
That's fantastic. And those bags will be filled. We all know how much can come down, and it's amazing when we see it on the ground and pick it up. So wonderful. Thank you to those for those donations. For those who are volunteers, I know you have some rakes from Lowe's you mentioned. Should volunteers who have access to rakes and things plan to bring them, or do we have others supplied to share as well?
Yeah, great question. So if you are a volunteer and you have a rake, we highly encourage you to bring those rakes. However, if you do not have any rakes, that's completely okay, because some of the seniors have rakes that they can supply at their homes. The Woburn Senior Center also has rakes, as well as the 12 new rakes that Lowe's donated. And also, if you're a volunteer with some extra rakes, we would greatly appreciate it if you could bring those extra rakes to the event so you could lend those to the other folks who are raking leaves at the home that you are assigned.
Oh, that's wonderful. And of course, we need people to put the piles of leaves in bags, and all kinds of things happen those days. So there's plenty to do no matter what your skill levels are and tools you have available. So if you live in an apartment and don't have a yard that you take care of, please don't let that discourage you from participating. It sounds like Nichol and team have thought of everything. So Nichol, thank you so much for joining us. Just real quickly, for volunteers who want more information or want to sign up, can you remind us one more time where they go to do that?
Yes, so you can go to socialcapitalinc.org/leafraking2023 /. So you can go there or go on our main page where there's also a link to that specific site.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, Nichol.
Thank you for having me.
Next up, Maureen Willis from the Ed Foundation. Welcome.
Hi, Samantha. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you on. And I know a lot of people are really familiar with the great work with the Ed Foundation does, but I was at one of the mayoral forums, and I had 2 people come up to me that were new to the community and tell me how appreciative they were of the show, because they're learning about all the services and things we have that we don't know about. So I know some of our audience is new. Before we jump into the specific Hall of Fame awards that are happening right now, remind us how Ed Foundation started and a little bit about its mission.
Sure. So the Ed Foundation started about 10 years ago, and just a group of local people got together, realized that other communities had foundations that were helping to raise funds for the schools, and we just felt that Woburn deserved the very same. So we organized and founded in 2014. We're looking forward to our 10-year anniversary in 2024. And through those 10 years, we're very proud of all of the great partnerships that we've been able to build with the educators and with the administration at the Woburn Public Schools. And we've surpassed $600,000 raised and gifted back to the schools in those 10 years. So it's been a great run.
It's amazing. And I've got to be honest with you, I always think of the Ed Foundation of being around longer, because you've become such a part of our educational community and the work you've done has been so visible and important. So awesome impact really, really quickly. And I understand also that you have been serving as the capacity of president, but that you will be focused on some other things, and a new president will be coming on board. Is that correct?
Right. So the title that the hat that I've worn for the last 10 years is executive director, and it's
Thank you. I
largely
still had the title wrong. Thank you for
Yeah.
correcting me.
it's largely been a volunteer role. And as part of the transition through our 10-year anniversary, many members of the founding board are actually stepping off. And I feel it's a great time for me to also step back and give someone else a chance to join the organization in this role, and to see how far that they can bring it as well. So we actually have posted that as an open position with the Ed Foundation if anyone is interested.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you. And you're not off the hook yet.
No,
So,
not yet.
I know how much work goes into things like that. I wanted to have you on, and I appreciate you joining me because the Hall of Fame award nominations have opened. Tell us about who's eligible for those awards.
Sure. So this will be the third induction of the Woburn Hall of Fame. And anyone who is a graduate of Woburn High School at least 10 years out. So the first criteria for any categories, you have to have graduated from the high school at least 10 years ago. We have a category for distinguished alumnus. So that's just anyone who graduated who's really gone on to do things that are either, accomplishments in industry or philanthropy, or just anything that they've done to make the community proud. And then we have a series of categories for athletics, including individual athletes and teams, coaches. And then we have a category for community members. And those are the people that really started a lot of like the Pop Warner programs and Woburn Youth Hockey that sort of feed into the high school success. We wanted to honor them as well. So like I said, the first two induction years was 2019. The plan was to do one in 2020, but COVID had different plans. So we did it in 2022. And now we're on an every other year cycle. So the next induction will be in May of 2024. The nomination forms are on our website. And anyone in the community, and anyone really, you don't need to live in Woburn to nominate someone for the Hall of Fame. You just really need to be able to give us some information as to why you think this person is worthy of being nominated. So
I love that. What a wonderful way to pay tribute to folks who were educated here in our community, and remind us of the futures that we can have. Remind us who was inducted in the last ceremony.
So the last ceremony, I mean, I have the list with me, and it's actually consolidated with the two, but I can tell you that to date, we've inducted 5 distinguished alumni, 5 community members, 23 individual athletes, 5 coaches, and 7 teams. It goes all the way back to 1955 would be the oldest, I'll say, alumni as an individual athlete, and it goes all the way up to, I think it's 2006 is the youngest inductee. So what we're looking for this year is for people to look at that list that's posted on our website and really let us know who's missing, because it is a fairly young program. And we know that there's people that are worthy of being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and we really depend on our community to sort of let us know who should be there.
I love that. Thank you so much. When is the deadline for nominations?
So the deadline for nominations is December 14th. The forms are posted on our website. If people call or email me, I'm happy to mail them out as well. Anyone who has nominated someone for the past, anytime for 2019 through present, and if for any reason they weren't inducted, they're very much on the ballot this time. So a lot of people are checking with me to make sure that the people that they've nominated are still in the running, and they're very much in the running for this induction year. So there is a grace period between the 14th and the end of the year for people, for me to follow up with them, for people to get their forms in. So if you're thinking about nominating someone, my advice to you is to do it as soon as possible. And I'll confirm with everyone when we receive it, and I'll keep in touch as the process moves forward to let everyone know what's going on.
That's great. And, it makes sense to do it now too, because then if you need more information, they'll have time to be able to do that. So it's a great opportunity to get the process started and let Maureen and team guide you on what's most helpful. Once you have all those nominations, how is the decision made on the winners?
So we have a committee together that's made up of people from the Ed Foundation, the Woburn Memorial High School administrative team, including the athletic director. And then there's 4 people from the community who all form the committee. And what they do is, so Jim Duran and I are non-voting members, so we organize the voting. But essentially what the members do is they get access to all the nominations, and then they rank their choices in each category, and every rank has a point value. And once they all submit their ranking and we total everything up, we come up with a slate of nominees. And I can tell you, in 2019, it took four votes to make it happen, and in 2022 it was the first ballot, and it was 100% unanimous. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this year.
I love it. I have to tell you, loyal watchers of the show know I love a good spreadsheet. So
Yes.
this has good spreadsheet written all over it, which is great. So thank you so much for joining us, Maureen. Anything else that I didn't ask you about that you'd like us to know?
Only that a reminder that the Hall of Fame is a fundraiser for both the Ed Foundation and the high school, because the proceeds are divided between the 2 groups. And then a quick plug for our educator grant program, which actually opens on December 4th. And Woburn educators will be able to apply for funding this year through the 16th of January. So they'll be getting emails and notices on that as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for mentioning. That's a really valuable contribution to the curriculum and programming that teachers are able to offer. So definitely make sure your educator friends are keeping their eyes out for those communications and participating actively in that. Thank you so much for joining us, Maureen.
Great. Thanks for having me. Woburn,
as always, get out there and vote, and please continue to take good care of each other.